How to not stress when you're single at 28 and your friends are getting engaged and having babies. Well, let me tell you something. 28, first of all, is a very young age, and getting stressed about it's not going to do any good at all. And I do not care what your friends are doing, and I know it can be difficult thinking everyone else's life is moving forward and yours isn't. I've said this before to people who are older who have talked to me about this, but there is no timeline. You don't have to be married at 28. You don't have to have a baby at 32. You don't have to. None of that. It doesn't matter. There's no timeline out there. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a breath to enjoy where you are right now, because you will have your moment as well.
5 things I wish I had done when I was 30. Get full blood work. Get all your baselines. Check where your vitamin D is. Check how your thyroid is performing. Check your hormones. Knowing where those things are at is not about just finding where things are wrong. It's also the peace of mind and knowing where you can optimize your health. You spent years with your vitamin D levels low. Like, why do that? Do the blood work and find out now. Learn about your lymphatic system and how to best support it. And this is not just about gua sha on your face. This is your whole body health, especially your breast health with a mother who has a history of breast cancer. And lymphatic massage on your stomach, it's a game changer. Figure out now some kind of sustainable muscle building exercise. You start losing muscle in your 30s and you need to keep it built up, but you really kind of hate working out. So you need to figure out something that you're going to do and stick to all the time. Even at 45, you're still trying to figure out that one. So just figure it out now. Take some time to learn the basics of cooking, how to sear something, how to roast something, how to use acid and salt. Just learn all of those things. And parchment paper is amazing. Travel brings more satisfaction than sales at Macy's. Use the money for travel. Aging is cool.
You're not stuck, you're afraid. There is a part of you that has dreamed up a big, beautiful vision for your life. This part of you knows what you're capable of and wants you to fulfill your potential. Unfortunately, there is another part of you that is absolutely terrified by the idea of doing any of that. This scared part of you is asking, what if I'm not good enough? Will people still love me if I fail? What if I lose everything? These two parts have you deadlocked. One is pulling you forward and the other is pulling you back, and that is why you feel stuck. Here's what to do. Step 1, acknowledge your fear. Look at it and say, I am afraid of moving towards the things that I want. Step 2, interrogate your fears. Your brain is concerned about your survival. So if you have a dream to change careers or move around the world or do something exciting and brave, your brain is thinking about how to protect you. It often comes to the conclusion of, oh, this looks dangerous, so it's better to stay right here where you are. Write down your fears on a piece of paper and then look at them and ask, is this realistic? And if it did happen, how would I handle it? Help your brain to remember that your dream is not a threat to your safety, but an opportunity to expand your contribution. And step 3, take small steps. Your dreaming part wants you to make a huge leap, but that is usually way too much for your scared part. Instead, start really small. Instead of focusing on the end outcome, focus on something you can do in 10 minutes or less today. This will reassure your scared part that you're not doing anything too dangerous, but at the same time, you'll be honoring your dreaming part and helping you to move in the direction of what matters most to you. Your dreaming part and your scared part are both a part of you, and they're not going to go away, nor would you want them to. That's why we will get stuck over and over and over again in our lives, and getting unstuck is a skill that we can master.
Have you ever seen a guy walking ahead of his girlfriend or his wife? Honestly, it's shocking every time. Here's what that says about him. He's focusing on his own path, his own pace. Think about it. If he can't slow down now and walk with her, what does that say about the future? True gentleman understands that working together means being present, being attentive. So next time you see him walking ahead, remember, he's giving you a preview of his priorities, and you deserve better.
Have you guys ever seen people that meditate every single day consistently? They look so good. They glow. And I think about the times where I was consistently in my meditation routine. I was literally glowing. I feel like it just lowers stress, and stress is like the cause to aging and that like dull feeling, and you know which feeling I'm talking about. That's stress and that's overwhelm, and meditation just gets you out of that feeling and back into the present moment, and it makes you feel relaxed. Like, you know that feeling when you're meditating and like every single muscle in your face is relaxed. That is the secret, I swear.
The best thing you can ever do for yourself is a toxic upward spiral glow up journey. Now let me.
I've always wanted to talk about this, so I'm going to. Every time I go through a breakup, I'm like, oh my God, I have 5 business days to get really hot. And this is what I do every single time. And really, it's Newton's law of motion, and I'll get more to that in just a second. It'll make more sense at the end. So I think there's really 6 categories. I'll start out with the first one, which is skin. Get yourself an exfoliator, a retinoid, and just regular ass cream. Retinol is so easy to get these days. You can get a prescription online, or you could just get, over the counter. So remember this rule: exfoliate, retinoid, rest. Every 3 days, right? It repeats. So the first day you exfoliate, the second day you put on the retinoid, and then you let yourself rest with the regular cream. That's all you need. Teeth, minus from the obvious of brushing your teeth, you should get teeth whitening strips. You can get the cheap ones, the off-brand ones, they work just fine. I saw it here on TikTok where a dentist was like, oh, you can use the strips back to back. And it was like that, ooh, someone cooked here sound. So I know it has to be true. Lashes. You can get lash extensions if you can afford it. I know not everybody can, but you can do the DIY clusters at home. I have a video on that, super affordable. Anybody can do it. I break it down into details. Go watch it. Eyebrows. If you can afford to get them microbladed or whatever, go ahead, do it. I personally don't have a lot of eyebrows, and it's just not my vibe to get microbladed, but just cleaning them up, just plucking out the stray hairs and trimming them will do, everything. Working out. So I'm one of those girls. At this point, my metabolism is slow and I can just afford to lose weight. And every time I go through a breakup, I'm so sad, I lose my appetite. So I take advantage of that. And normally I'm a bodybuilder girl, but I start doing cardio every day. Because right now we're trying to see results as fast as we can. And it's just easier to see results and lose weight by doing cardio every day than it is to build muscle and then see it in a short period of time. But if you're one of those girls that you're already skinny and you want to build more muscle as part of your glow up, and I know a lot of us girls are trying to build our glutes, so remember this 4. Long range motion like deadlifts, short range motion like hip thrusts, isolated exercises like single leg exercises, and then accessory exercises like cable kickbacks. That's all I can say right now. That's a whole separate topic on its own. And a haircut. You do not need to get a drastic haircut. You don't need to go and get a bob. Just get a trim. Just do something that makes you look a little bit more presentable. The whole point of this is to just look and feel a little bit better than we have been, right? So going back to Newton's law of motion, whatever is at rest will remain at rest, and whatever is in motion will remain in motion. And I know with breakups, a lot of us are going to feel like shit, and yeah, that's going to come and go. That's not going to just go away magically just because you look hot. But when you are sad, you can always remind yourself that even though you are sad, you're still hot. And I think that helps. I think that helps a lot. But the real point is, it's just easier to stay on a good track once you start seeing the little wins, the little progresses here and there, and it keeps you motivated. And then once you're in motion, you will remain in motion and you will continue on this aggressive spiral of a glow up. Yeah.
Things you don't need in a relationship, part 2. You don't need to make them post you. It's not going to stop them from cheating. You don't need to get married, unless you want to. Stop trying to fit into society. Half of them are miserable. You don't need to tell them how bad your ex treated you. You're planting seeds in their head that you tolerate bullshit. You don't need to have an open relationship. It will be your downfall. You don't need to take another break. Just break up. You don't need to go to couples therapy when you're dating. If you're having problems now, they will only get 10 times worse. You don't need to force intimacy. If you're not in the mood, you're not in the mood. You don't need to settle. The longer you're with the wrong person, the longer it will be until you can be with the right person. And you don't need to keep making it work. When the relationship has run its course, let it go.
Always remember that according to any type of psychology, a human who is blaming others has a far way to go. A human that is blaming themselves is halfway there, and the human who is not blaming anyone has a right.
I'm pretty convinced now that you don't actually have to get anything done in your 20s. You have to make sure that your 50-year-old self doesn't have anything to undo. Like, don't marry the wrong person. Don't forget to take your vitamins. You don't have to have the dream job or car or house or family by the time that you turn 30. Just have a long obedience in the same direction and trust that time will take care of you if you take care of it.
Something I've really been into lately is investing in high quality things. And I'm not talking about buying designer things or stupidly overpriced items, but invest in high quality denim. Invest in like 3 really good quality pairs of shoes that are going to last you for years. Invest in nice jewelry if you can. I feel like for so many years growing up, I would always buy costume or plated jewelry or cheap shoes, and I'm like, it's fine, it'll work for now. But then you realize over time, you are better off buying the expensive thing and paying a high price one time, because the cheap things just get ruined after like a year or two, and then they're a waste of money. And then you realize it adds up to the same amount in the end anyway, because you keep having to repurchase the same low quality things. At this point in my life, I don't know if I'm like maturing or whatever, but like I'd rather spend 2 times the amount to get a high quality nice thing, because number one, it's gonna last me way longer, but also the way you feel when you wear it. Because whenever I wear like cheaply made items that are just terrible quality, I don't feel good. I feel like cheaply thrown together. And don't get me wrong, I still like to throw in inexpensive pieces with my nicer things. This is also how I feel about dupes. I'm not really a dupe person. I would so much rather just save up for the real thing and be able to buy the luxury option, because over time it'll last and you just feel so much better wearing the real thing. For example, I bought a pair of knee-high boots that I needed for my birthday weekend. They were like $18 on this website, and I was like, wow, I got so lucky. These are so cute. Guess what happened? On my birthday, the heel broke. The entire shoe was garbage and I had to throw it away. That was $18 I could have put towards a really nice high-quality pair of shoes that I would have had for years and would have lasted. So yesterday I ordered a new pair of boots that were nice. But moral of the story, my whole point is that investing in nice, high-quality things is way better than buying the cheap version of it over and over and over. My 3 things are jewelry, denim, and shoes. And I don't think you're ever going to regret spending money on high quality things like that for yourself, because you deserve it.
Okay, I just saw a comment and I'm obsessed, literally obsessed. Let the universe cook. That's so good. I'm literally going to use that every single second of my life. Let the universe cook. Number 1, it couldn't be more real, because when you're manifesting something, you gotta give that shit time to unfold. As we know, with Neville Goddard, you need to let the bridge of incidents unfold, but also just like letting the universe cook. I love that so much. It's like such a great trust fall, or such a great thing to say for a trust fall, because you're literally just like, you know what? The universe is like daddy universe, mother universe. It's cooking something up and I'm trusting the process and I'm allowing this thing to brew. Honestly, like let the universe cook, or like let the universe brew. Like something is brewing behind the scenes. It's cooking. We don't know what the ingredients are yet. We don't know how it's being formulated. We don't know what the specific outcome or specific meal out of the cooking is going to be, but we know it's going to be good and we know it's going to be what we like. So there we go. Let the universe cook and live your life and be present and trust and let it unfold.
Start keeping track of when it goes right. Because I know you have a laundry list of examples of when things have not gone according to your plan or the way you expected. But what would start to happen if you started keeping track of when things actually went well? You know, something happens when you do that and it turns into a belief and you show up differently. And there seems to be some snowball effect that happens. You know, you start to see the glimmers a little bit more and then somehow they become a little bit brighter. And life begins to change a bit. So check your track record and moving forward, start to make that list. And that is the beginning of hope. And hope is a doorway to some pretty beautiful things in this world.
This is your reminder that you can really have every single thing that you want out of life. It's just going to require you to stop white knuckle gripping the people, places, and things that the universe has repeatedly and clearly shown you are not meant for you, because you're fighting this rejection and you are swearing that your life is over, when in actuality it's about to lead to the best thing that's ever happened to you. I'm telling you, detachment is your very best friend, because you do not know if the outcome of any given situation is good or bad. So why not gaslight your brain into thinking that this is the very best scenario?
The last emotion you'll carry when it's over is anger. A lot of us don't understand that, but there's things that we need to process in order to get over someone. You might have to let go of this person multiple times in order to get to the point where you are just done. You're actually going to see it for what it is, and that's what's going to make you so angry. You're going to realize after all this time that is so much less than what you deserved, what you were worthy of. And it's almost going to eat you up a little bit just because you fondled with the idea, you allowed that to happen to you. You betrayed yourself in all of it. But you made it. You've made it to the last, almost done, final finish line. Anger. And I want you to know, in your anger, you will find peace there. Because even though all that happened to you, you're just so happy it's over. You're just so happy they are not something you will ever want or ever accept ever again.
I saw this woman on TikTok saying that you cannot expect $1 million life from minimum wage habits. And I'm like, the way she kind of clocked me, it made me get up and go to CrossFit. I mean, don't get me wrong, I go to CrossFit, but everything that we do in life, every single action, every single habit is compounded to the person that we're becoming. If you want to see how your life's going to turn out, look at the things you do every day. Look at the continuous things, not just the one risky thing, not just the one big move. It's the continuous habits you do every day. Look at that, because that's what's going to define your success in life. Because I feel like everyone comes on this app and be like, I want to build a business. I want to have a great body. I want to have amazing friends. And yet, they spend 6 hours scrolling online, keep ordering from delivery app. The most important thing, the way most people treat themselves nowadays is borderline abuse. How can you expect to be successful? How can you expect to be the best version of yourself if you constantly berate yourself every day, if you constantly put yourself down? You don't have enough love for yourself so that you can discipline yourself into doing hard things so that you can have an easier life later on. Those are the little habits she was clocking. Those are the minimum wage habits that she was clocking. Anyways, I think the biggest lesson is just, if you want a better life, then be better. It's just, you have to be better first. You have to do the hard things first. Success follows you. Success doesn't just stumble on you. Because at the end of the day, how can you handle a big business if you can't even focus on one task at a time? How can you find true love and true acceptance and abundant life within someone if you can't even find love within yourself? How can you expect to give to the world when you have nothing to give? Some of the books, honestly, that I recommend, of course, number 1, Atomic Habits. If you haven't read that, amazing. Number 2, The Slight Edge. I haven't read that in so long, but I remember it has such a big effect on me. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Underrated, but classic. Honestly, any book from Mr. Dr. Joe Dispenza, because it will honestly rewire the way you think about changing and growth. Anyways, level up them habits.
What's the best decision you made for your quality of life? So easy. Who I married. I think a lot of people don't put a lot of thought into who they marry. People give us shit because I was like, oh, it was a logical decision. Like, it was definitely the best decision I've ever made, because I think our relationship genuinely makes every aspect of my life better. I look at it like, does this person that's in your life make everything better or worse? Do they make the things that are important to you, like health, wealth, happiness, friendships, do they make those all better or worse? And when I met Alex, he made everything better. And I made everything better for him. And so because of that, I think it worked out really, really well. And I think that a lot of people don't put enough thought into who they bring on as a life partner, but you spend a disproportionate amount of your time with that person. And so you freaking make sure that it's somebody you want to be like.
What are the signs when a woman is about to become rich? Generally speaking here, there are 3 signs I concluded from my billionaire clients, especially the last one. If you learn it, you will become a billionaire. The first sign is that when a woman doesn't complain anymore, there is a rule ruling the world in which that all the failed people are more likely to find excuses, and the people who succeed are always likely to find solutions. When your thinking pattern changes from the negative to positive, from the pessimistic to optimistic, then you start to find the reasons with yourself. Instead of blaming the others, your path to success will slowly begin. The second sign is that you should have a strong desire. We often say that if your heart does not call, then the matter does not come. Then there will be countless collapse and moments of making you to give up on the path to success. So if you do not have this strong desire, you cannot achieve your true goal. So many of my friends who have started their own business have asked me whether they should start a business or not. They will analyze the advantages and the disadvantages of starting a business and mention so many difficulties that may encountered, when starting a business. Then high possibility, I will just basically tell them, do not start a business. Because the true entrepreneur will not have these problems. As a true entrepreneur, they should have an unshakable goal. If you don't let me do it, I will regret it for the rest of my life. The third sign is that one must have a mindset of benefiting the others. Benefiting the others is the best way to benefit ourselves. So narrow-minded and selfish people may be able to earn some money for a while, but that will only last a very short time. Meaning maybe 3 to 5 years, they will definitely come back to poor based on their own abilities. So always keep a mindset of benefiting the others. Then think about creating value for the others. You would receive more abundance in return. So just bear in mind, don't always look at the bank balance. Pay more attention to whether the other people working with you are making money, whether they are becoming better because of your partnership. If all of your partnerships, all of your friends are making money, it will be very hard for you to not be rich. And if you are a businesswoman, that you have to be ruthless, you have to be bold, and just go for the money in a straightforward way. So as long as you have a wolfish heart, you can thrive. Life is like a battlefield. You have to fight with the others every day, grab food. If you are too gentle, you won't have any food to eat. You have to hide your blondness behind your beautiful face and take out your knife to defend your right to survive. Only by doing so, you can stand on the top of the food chain. The survival rules of the human beings are cold and cruel. Only the strongest would thrive, and the weakness are eliminated from our earth. So don't be sentimental. Be nice to this, to be nice to that. Then you are too soft-hearted. You won't have any food to eat. You are just wasting your resources, and you will have to pay for your stupidity. The rules of the game in this world are always set by the strongest, okay? You must understand, being ruthless is just making it a little bit more elegant. But its core is still a game of jungle hunting. When you are a boss, especially a female boss, you have to fight much harder for yourself. Bear that in mind. So follow me to get more financial advice, to get your life with more abundance.
I don't want to be pretty, I want to reach the unreal, unachievable look. Well, you've come to the right place. Oh my gosh, I look so hot. Wait, I look so hot. Wait, guys, let me close these curtains. Can you see me properly? Let's just jump right into it. But to achieve this look, you really just have to be yourself. And also add a bunch of makeup on top. Start with some black eyeshadow. Take a brush like this, angle upwards like that. Drag that in. Clean that line up. Drag this line very thin all over your eye. Go over that with some liner. Line the top of your eye. Line this bottom part of your eye as well. Take a little brush. Start smoking everything out. And also smoke out the bottom. I want to cut this so that it's super sharp. Take a red eyeshadow, just right here, and put some on the bottom as well. Why not? Now take your mascara and apply it to your lashes. Take a half lash. Apply it in the shape of the wings. Eyebrows on fleek. I'm gonna go in with this Dior Backstage foundation. Don't cake it on. Keep it like kind of skin-like, but kind of like you look perfect already. Literally putting the tiniest dot. You know why? Because I kind of want to let my dark circles show a little bit. Kind of gives this like mysterious aura, like, girl, baby girl, why are you so tired? The sharper your features, the more unapproachable you look. Keeping the blush pretty minimal. We ain't blushing for no one. That's cause I used to be young. Look contour, a little bit of this color around my lips. Nude inside, girl. Some lashes. And bam! Guys, I need to take like 10 billion selfies. I look so hot right now. What was I don't even remember what the title of this video was, but I look hot. That's all I know. That's the look I did, is I look hot. Try this out because, oh my gosh, guys, I'm actually in love with myself right now. Because wait, low key, like, you're gonna be looking like a baddie.